Good morning, everyone. My name is Junran. I'm from the Center for Digital Humanity Research, the Australian National University. Today, I'm going to present the Baguia Collection website, linking an ethnographic museum collections in Switzerland with a descendants community in East Timor. Since Dr. Joanna Barrkman is in absence, I'm going to show some slides from her and then discuss OCCAMS, the database system behind the project. The development of the Baguia Collection website, with the generous support of the UNESCO Memory of the World Center for Asian Pacific, grew out of a research project undertaken by Dr. Joanna Barrkman at the College of Asian Pacific, Australian National University from 2013 until 2017. The website that was launched earlier in 2019 is a practical outcome resulting from her research that links an ethnographic material culture connection held by a Swiss museum with its source or descendants community in East Timor. This virtual website enables the descendants community to have access to their heritage that would otherwise be inaccessible. The website provides the online cultural collections management and analysis system, OCCAMS, which we developed in ANU for researchers to use and arrange data relating to cultural connections. The Baguia Collection was acquired by a Swiss ethnologist, Dr. Alfred Bühler, during his visit to Baguia, Portuguese Timor, as part of the Timor-Leste forest expeditions, which he undertook from the 27th of March to the 18th of December, 1935. Dr. Bühler's expedition visited Baguia for 3 weeks, from the 31st of July to the 18th of August 1935, as part to the border expedition. During that time, he acquired and documented 691 objects and took 300 black and white photographs, akin to a time capsule of the material cultures, architecture, technologies, lifestyle, and landscape of Baguia in its residence. The Baguia Collection also includes field footage taken by Dr. Wilhelm Meyer, who accompanied Bühler on the expedition. This acquisition was a part of the Museum der Kulturen process of developing its acquisitions. The collection was sent from Kupang to Basel and was accessioned into the museum's permanent collection. The Baguia Collection remained largely dominant from that time until 2012, when the MKB developed an exhibition about the history of how it developed its connections through 4 key expeditions. The exhibition was called The World in a Suitcase. This is the map of Timor Island. We can see the Baguia and Mount Metabia. And this is the language map of the eastern tip of East Timor. The people from whom Bühler acquired the collection were the Macassites and Naweti people of Baguia, in former Portuguese Timor. We can see the location on the map. Mount Metabia. They live in the mountainous interior of East Timor, at the foot of Mount Metabia. Vice Terrace. This is the 1935 photo by Bühler. And in comparison, this is the Vice Terrace in 2014 photos. They are largely subsistence farmers whose agricultural practice have remained relatively constant between 1935, when Bühler visited, and now. Baguia Township. The town of Baguia is remote and has limited infrastructure, with only 1 church, 3 schools, 1 police station, and 1 clinic. Dr. Joanna Barrkman's research and thesis returned to Baguia, an ethnographic museum connection on the edge of living memories, documents the formation of the Baguia Collection by Dr. Alfred Bühler and then explore an initial phase of engagement between the residents of Baguia with the Baguia Collection during 2014. As part of her research, Barrkman documents the Baguia collections in Switzerland in 2014. She photographs each of the 688 objects and scans the accession card handwritten by Bühler and the 300 black and white photographs. We can see that Joanna Barrkman is working with staff at the MKB storeroom in these slides. She digitally returned images of the Baguia collection to the market sites and Nahuatl-speaking residents of the Baguia district, Timor-Leste, in 2014. Her research explored the methodologies, issues, and challenges raised by the digital returns of the connections to the market sites and Nahuatl community members of Baguia. In small group discussions, community hall public viewings, and interview with artisans and cultural leaders, people engage with the Baguia collection, which is located on the edge of living memories. We can see the community viewing of the Baguia collection in these slides. And another community viewing of the connections. And this slide shows a man concerned about the landscape feature described in the photographs. The response of the Baguia resident to viewing digital images of the connections raised issues pertinent to contemporary museological practice and how museums can become relational entities. Dr. Barrkman's research findings assert that the Baguia collection has shared heritage values, providing the Museum der Kulturen Basel with more updated and relevant information about the connections. From the community's perspective, digital access to the connections enhance the restitution, cultural knowledge, and its intergenerational transition in Baguia. These processes had the effect of reinvigorating contemporary market sites and Nahuatl cultural identity and practice. Mama Ola and her grandchildren. Her project demonstrates that access to digital images of the connections enabled the residents of Baguia to assert their cultural authority over their connections, and that with further digital access, they will potentially activate the connection to meet their own local development agendas. Here are some slides showing people animating the connection in the Baguia community. This slide showing a family looking at the ceramics in the Baguia collection and then demonstrate their knowledge of making ceramics. Viewing the Baguia collection historical photographs trigger memories of place and people that will revisit and reenact. Artisans recreate objects based on photographs from the Baguia collections. Elders and teachers use the Baguia collection to convey local history and heritage to Baguia school students. And some more examples of students working with the Baguia collections. In this slide, the music instrument was used as a teaching resource. And students with their drawing from the connections. And some more drawing from the students. And research notes used by the students from the connections. And these are coconut spoons made by high school students inspired by the Baguia connections. At the conclusion of the research project, the data relating to the Baguia collection was collated on the Online Cultural Collections Management and a learning system, OCCAMS, developed in ANU. The information included on the OCCAMS database system include digital images, often one or more images per object of the 688 objects. Data such as the dimensions, materials, and accession number of each object. Scan of original handwritten accession card. Scans of the 300 historical photographs. Annotating information about the current use of such objects and their status, including whether they are still produced and used. Furthermore, the collection was divided into grouping based on categories relating to their function. The Baguia Collection is categorized in the database system such as historical photographs, baskets, domestic objects, personal objects, sculptures, toys, weapons, wooden bowls, and so on. Through the use of the OCCAMS database system and the Baguia Collection's websites, this heritage collection is now available to people in East Timor. Its access is limited to those people with internet access. However, this form of virtual access to the collections enables memory and intangible knowledge to be recalled, remember, and share, and contribute to an evolving market-sized and novelty cultures in the 21st century. So I'm now going to discuss OCCAMS, the database system behind the project. OCCAMS is a collaborative research tool for people working with and creating cultural connections. It's an online database that allows people to organize, annotate, and link data in standard formats. It's a digital access management system for managing digital files such as image, video, audio, and documents. It's also a research tool with restricted access level, flexible views, and the ability to link and annotate data. The system was initially proposed to fulfill the need of researchers at the Australian National University, working with cultural connections, involving large numbers of digital media files. Researchers need a collaborative tool that was not simply a digital access management system, but also a research tool with restricted access level, flexible views, and the ability to link and annotate data. It can potentially store digital images or other information with sensitive or restricted access requirements. Ongoing dialogue with researchers has been key to OCCAMS development. Through OCCAMS, we have engaged researchers from different disciplines and community into the discussion of data management best practice and workflows. The two components of OCCAMS are the digital file library for data upload, storage, and access, and the project workspace for creating records and connections, for annotations, analysis, and discovery. The digital file library is where users upload, manage, and organize their digital media. It's important to provide researchers with an online space for their digital files, so the file which exists elsewhere beside personal computer can be shared, backup, and managed on a remote server. It's also an important part of the workflow, so the system can extract data straight from files upon uploading, and users can share or use the same files across multiple projects. The interface of the digital file library also have the functionality like the desktop folder, so the user understands the manipulation of files as like that on a local machine. We can see this list view on the digital file library. We can sort by file name, type, or file time, and so on. We can also change the thumbnail view and zoom in to see bigger image, or zoom out to see more images. The project workspace is where users organize, access, analyze, and discover data. It provides research tools such as annotation, the creation of categories, a timer interface, the ability to link records, metadata customization, and mapping. So researchers can not only manage knowledge, but also create new knowledge or information based on existing information. The different ways of exploring data, such as time map, provide them different perspectives of their data. The distinction between the digital file library and the project workspace is an important one, as the library is where researchers work with actual digital files that exist on the server, while the workspace is where they create virtual connections. In the project workspace, record can relate to objects that exist in museum collection or other sites. Digital file from the file library may be linked to object records to represent or act as surrogates for objects in the real world, but are not equivalent to those objects. So the file's metadata will not be the same as the metadata attaching to the object record. In this example, this is the digital image in the digital file library. We can see the metadata on the left-hand panel. The creator of this digital image is Dr. Joanna Barrkman. And if we go to the project workspace, the same image is linked to this record. The records have multiple link files. The image we just saw is just one of them. Apart from this image, the record also have the link documents and other link images. The image is only one representation of the object. And we can see the metadata on the left-hand side. The creator of this object is Perceived Market-Sized People. So it's not the same as the digital file, which is Joanna Barrkman. This concept prevents the confusion or the difference between digital files and the object they describe. The project workspace is the place where conceptual organization of records reflects a researcher's interest. Following this, a record may be assigned to more than one category. The system made a fundamental distinction between digital objects or files and collection records that represent objects of different kinds. In the CDHR, one of our goals is to develop a set of workflows and tools to achieve better data management processes in the research environment. These workflows are data acquisition, import, storage, analysis, and discovery. I list the most important OCCAMS features here. I will talk about and show some of them. The first one I'd like to mention is the ability to read and write embedded metadata from media files. It provides file editing tool to edit metadata for digital files and automatically retrieve metadata from files. This function provides better facility for the data management process to get data from field tools to file image management tools such as Adobe iPhoto, Bridge, Lightroom to database storage. Flexible metadata schemas met to existing standards. OCCAMS provide default metadata field for each record type. We can add fields, customize existing fields, change field orders, and publish settings. This field can then be mapped to existing metadata standard. The system encourages best practice use of the Dublin Core metadata standard, with extension offered by other university recognized standards such as IPTC, SMP, FO, VCAR Bio, and so on. This maximizes sustainability by ensuring interoperability with other systems. So now I'm going to show image annotation, document and audio and video annotation, and flexible category hierarchy. Image annotation, research can identify object and person by annotating images. They can also identify object details by using the image annotation functions. By tagging or annotating the records, we are making them more searchable, accessible, and retrievable. The annotated record can later be found in keyword search. It also helps to enrich the data for later analysis and comparison, so can add more value to the data. Document annotation is useful to annotate handwriting or part of text. On the right-hand panel, user can also have an online discussions about the annotation, the documents, or part of the documents. Video annotation is useful to add transcriptions and research notes for the video. User can stop at one point and add descriptions on the position of the video. If video is played past the position, the annotation will be highlighted. This is a good way to locate annotation or information on the video. Audio annotation is similar to video annotation apart from the interface. Flexible category. The system provides a different level of hierarchical categorization. Users can organize their records in different ways by years, origins, creators, subjects, object type, and so on. In this example, the object is categorized by location and organization. And in this example, it's organized by object type. They can also be organized by both origin and object types. This provides a useful and flexible way to organize information. Control vocabulary. The purpose of control vocabulary field lists is to organize information and to provide terminology to catalog and retrieve information. Control vocabulary also promotes consistency in preferred term and the assignment of the same term to similar contents. By using control vocabulary, we are making data more retrievable. In this example, the B object subtype will change according to the selection of the B object type. By using control vocabulary, we can have consistent predefined term for data entry. The functions we have seen so far all aim to make data more searchable, accessible, and retrievable. I'm going to show some more analysis and research functions. Record comparisons. We can compare records side by side, compare object detail by research node or annotations. If record is tagged by image annotations, we can compare record detail alongside with their metadata. Time map. Geospatial mapping past timeline. In this example, records are shown on both map and timeline. Record on the map can be shown as marker point, polygon area, polyline track. Click on the area. We can also see object detail and go to the record page. So time map is a useful function to research records by time or geospatial information. User can see the records distribution across time and space, or find records in close location or time. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the project which the images and material this presentation use, and some of the current work and future direction in CDHR for digital preservation. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.